Okay. So you think gates are very important in this game for Phoenix Elves? You said.
Right, because they've got such, kind of a fragile summoner. You need to have that defense around them, and the avians have so much mobility to get around the defenses you build up. It's just going to be really important for them to have some options to help protect Moldaria.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I think that's a very like as I've gotten more comfortable with the game. I think when I first started the game, I would throw out gates all the time. Versus now, it's like I hardly discard them ever unless you're like a faction like Avians, which have a ton of gates, and so you don't need all of them.
Yeah.
Um, but they're definitely your most versatile, and they cost no magic, right? Uh, so very useful, and as well as like for low health summers like Maldari, you need them, like you said, against factions which can be very aggro. How about you, username? What do you think about this matchup?
I mean, I really don't play Phoenix Elves, and now I checked and I played against them 6 times and I lost all of them almost, except once.
As Avians.
So I'm yeah, yeah. So yeah, interesting. But as I said, like I didn't play like generally I didn't play much the past months. And I didn't play Phoenix Elves, I think like several years. I don't even remember the cards to be fair.
Mm.
So I'm just here to like fangirl over avians.
It seems like Ember mages are probably really good in this matchup. Outside if you're within two spaces of Ava for the or within a gate for summoning a diver.
Hmm.
Uh, because there's certain matchups where, like for example, against Storm Goblins, as you probably know, like Ember mages feel terrible, right? Because they just die. Uh, versus like against in my experience against swamp orcs, they're really good because no matter how many dice you throw at them, they can only take one damage.
Right, right. Yeah, at least and it's interesting. There are a couple different ways to play Phoenix Elves. At least the way I'd look at it, this is a matchup that I'd certainly use Guardians more and Ember Mages maybe a little less than a standard game.
Mm, I see. So interesting. So I guess that's. I need to watch your podcast episode. So that's a decision you actively make for a matchup. Is like which one am I trying to play more of? Um,
Right. Yeah, well, Guardians I normally just dump straight off for Magic. Don't
mm.
even have to think about it. But this is a faction where I'd really kind of want to consider maybe I do want to be pulling Guardians on the field. Um,
Because it's very
they're a
annoying to.
little
Sorry.
beefier to stand up, and then also, even if you can't guarantee you're going to get a kill, maybe push one of the birds far enough away that it's not going to be able to get flight on the next turn.
Mm, true. No, that's a great point. You can do a lot of little tricks with that. Uh, I guess yeah, with because it's within two range of Ava, you get the flight.
You will
This
say Ava or Ava? I've heard both. I don't know which is.
I thought it was Ava,
It's a good
like
point.
Ava Gardner, you know.
I thought they would have a beast right there. That'd be a sick beast. Who do you? So this is a more a less aggro couple of turns by Tortugatron. I'm assuming that probably Avians, like in most matchups, dictates the pace of what's happening, and with that very aggressive gate. Um, but at first they started back, just chipping away, and now they're sort of pushing forward. It seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think with avians, it's kind of like now Moldaria. Okay, yeah, but she can like put someone in front of her, right? Yeah, it's
Yes.
like it's very risky to leave any space to get hit like by them because like the sky assault is like pretty powerful. So
Yeah. I mean, the good
And
thing, like,
Sid,
sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna point out what you just said earlier. The good thing is that Sky Assault is a little less powerful against Moldavia because of protection.
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
exactly,
mm.
exactly. Yeah. So, and I remember when you said that, I remember that I lost the game because of that, because I was like, yes, my sky assault, and then I couldn't shoot, and I was like, what is happening? So,
That's
yeah.
the worst feeling.
Yeah, it is. It happens to me very often. I think I'm like like I don't have enough focus. So I keep like inventing cards, you know, like making them slightly better than they are, like for my benefit, of course. And then I usually lose, like, oh no, I misread this. So
Yeah, it's one of the
I
best
do
in.
think though Maldaria only with the 9 hit points that if you can just fly around and get a couple chip shots on her, even with the improved ability for protection, that Sky Assault can be deadly for her.
yeah, definitely. Because like, look, now if you kill the Ember Mage, so and you can like shoot her with like you can damage her pretty roughly. Like, but the problem is that the ranged rolls are usually crap. Like this one.
Tragic. So Morning, are you in the camp of throwing out a bunch of events as Phoenix Elves? So throwing away. I can't see the card titles here. Let me get a separate tab open on my phone, just so I don't mix up names. So the event which Phoenix Elves have, which causes 1 damage when they're attacked, do you usually discard that one?
That's usually one that I'll discard. So that was interesting to see that one played. But I guess right now, since we were talking about earlier, just without that second gate, Maldaria has to play a little more defensively with the units she's got out there.
Hmm. So who do you guys think is I mean, it's a little bit too early to say who's ahead, but who would you rather be in this position? I guess.
Tortugatron.
I really like that gate, the Aryan gate. Allows for a lot
I
of
mean, it's yeah.
crazy fight plays.
Whose turn is it now? Tortugatron's, right?
Fiddle.
Hahaha.
Fiddlefords.
And so if I were Fiddleford, I'd be thinking, do I want to just take out that airy gate rather than even focus on the units on the field?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. If there's a play where you can, yeah, there is a play. You can, huh. No, you can't. I'm thinking if you could just push Maldaria up 2 spaces next to the gate and go for some very aggro, try to kill the sage. No, you're just dead. You have 9
I mean,
health.
that's what I would do. That's what I would do. So that's a bad move.
Because then if you kill the sage, you get the gate spot. Maybe. Yeah, lots of Ember Mages. It's always curious to me whether it's just because Phil's just drawing a lot of Ember Mages, or whether it's because it's a strategic decision, like you said, of choosing
Now,
the
this was an interesting move where Fiddleford could have summoned the beast in front of that first Ember Mage to finish off the Steward, but it looks like decided not to do that in order to use their 3 moves to change the position otherwise. So they could still attack that airy gate and get all 3 of their moves in.
Yeah, no, great point. I think sometimes also it is a live game, so a lot of plays will not be the most optimal, or in retrospect. But that was a good turn. He got the 3 for 3.
Yeah, not bad.
And I think both of these factions are ones that maybe don't struggle as much with the live games as much as others. I know some of the very boost manipulation heavy factions, that time can really sneak up on you.
Definitely. I really hate all of those factions. That's why I can't believe I took Savannah Elves for the live league. But you really kind of have to calculate more, and like I always like redo my moves because like wrong calculation or something. But these are very straightforward teams, I think.
True. Hargrada says in chat, standard T formation. The Phoenix also has a nice T right here. The fearful, the feared T formation.
They're threatening Tortugatron. That's why it's a T.
True. Yeah, so the Ember Mage is in the range of Diver, so Ember Mage becomes a lot less viable there. I think Ember
Yep,
Mages
sure
originally
enough.
were. Sorry, go
Oh, sure enough, yeah, and the diver plops down and does that.
on. I'm guessing, and tell me if I'm wrong, Morning, but against Phoenix Elves, I always feel like I can play a little bit more aggro with my summoner, because I feel like there's less assassination attempts. But then sometimes you can get very cheeky beast chains, or because you can summon a beast off a beast, which I always forget. Um, Similar to with Obsidian Dwarves, where they can do the demons off each other.
Right, right. And so that was one thing I was talking about on the podcast when I was on there a week or two ago, is that I always love, having 5 magic as a Phoenix Elf player is great. Or even 3, because you can threaten summoning an Ember unit and then summoning a beast past it, or when you have 5, summoning 2 beasts past it. Even if you don't
Mm.
have them in your hand, just that threat kind of keeps your opponent under control a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, and I think something which I didn't appreciate until later on in playing Summoner Wars is just the threat of doing things. And also as a player, like at what point do you ignore that, right? Like at what point my opponent could do this and I just lose, but it's not worth, I'm gonna lose regardless if I don't, play more aggro. Um, but yeah, here would have been a potential turn for Sky Assault where the diver would kill the Ember Mage and then you Sky Assault the Steward past once the defender's gone or the protection unit is gone. Hmm. This seems pretty even right now. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it does kind of.
I think,
Yeah, it's same amount of cards, same magic.
yeah, about the same worth of units. Interesting use of how much health did it? I guess they want to push Moldaria up is the idea. And does Moldaria's ability work on gates? It's an enemy card, so yeah, you could push 2 up and then block the gate potentially after a Moldaria
Right.
attack.
But this has been a very aggressive Maldaria game so far.
Yeah, especially without any gates like you were pointing out earlier.
The thought might be that because the avians are so mobile, maybe sitting back doesn't benefit you as much as it would against a lot of other factions. Why not just go all forward?
True. No, great point. Great point. Hmm. Eden thinks that where are my Shiraz bucks? Eden thinks that Ava's on the wrong side of the board, which I can kind of agree with. Uh,
Yeah, definitely. It feels very strange for me to watch someone else play avians.
you said you'd have went way more aggressive earlier on, right?
Oh yeah, I would probably be dead by now because I would just go all in. So
I think probably Ava's a gate here. Hopefully a 5 health gate. I think the 3 health gate is a little bit yeah, it's
yeah.
not as good against beasts.
I think for the avians, stewards are probably going to be a major unit in terms of how they impact the game. Just that 5 life breakpoint is tough for the Phoenix Elves to hit sometimes.
Yeah, great point. In general, unless you have some way to use all your +1 damage or your ping damage as Phoenix Elves, especially a formation like this where you can't even move it with the Guardian. Yeah, and these 5 health gates also, just like so many 5 healths, right? Unless like they are, you clump them up for a beast or something like that. It's probably very hard to deal with. Small Daria. Am I saying it right? Maldaria? Maldaria?
I think I say Maldaria, but I don't know.
The box. I'm a first-time Twitch streamer, guys. I don't have any of the benefits Ben 10 has. Oh, what do you think about this Maldaria position right here? You think you like this?
Well, unless there's a gate that's about to come down, I'd be very nervous in this position, but we'll see how Fiddle plays this out.
So it's been about...
Change their mind, yeah.
What would you do here? What would be your thought?
Well, it's hard to say without seeing the options
Hand.
available. I might, maybe pull back with Maldaria a little bit and try to bring the Avians over to where I've got maybe a little more control over the battlefield. But
Yeah.
I guess clogging up that gate to deny the forward summoning is kind of an alternate way to do that same thing.
True. I think one of the dangerous things here, though... Okay, I'm assuming they're going to use the Ember Mage on the other side, because a dangerous thing here is that one of Maldaria's flanks is basically open right now. And given either a diver or the event Ava has to in the summoning phase to summon units around them or move units to them, Maldaria might get chunked next turn. Interesting gates. Because this gate, if he keeps it, kind of prevents Maldaria from moving back also, or like makes it very hard.
Right. And you've certainly at least limited her to one side of the battlefield.
Also, it goes for the gate instead of the steward. Interesting. I'm not sure if I... Okay. We'll see.
Well, I guess maybe the argument is, well, I guess if you get rid of the gate, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, so if you got rid of the steward, then you could just plop a skydiver down there and take the guardian out.
Oh, true. Great point. I wasn't thinking of that. Let's see if Maldaria gets chunked. Okay, I need to remember this next time I stream. Because Ben is so good with names, and I'm terrible with card names. I just need a list of card names on my phone. Eden, if Guardians attacked him for more than one for the same cost, they would be very broken. Just like apparently Ember Mages used to be 3/2s, and that also sounds very strong. I think during testing, someone told me.
Wow.
Whose move is it now? It's Ava. Yeah, okay. I really love these moments when you watch a live game and then you see how the person is thinking. It's like this. Oh no, undo. Oh, this, undo.
Yeah, it's you also sometimes get... It's similar probably to... I've never played over the board, which I wish I've had. I wish I had more experience doing that. Maybe I need to go to Gen Con next year. But I'm assuming it's similar, where you get more information based off people undoing moves. Or I'm not sure. How does it work in Gen Con? Are you allowed to undo moves, or if a card's on the board, it counts? Like, what are the...
So technically, it's up to the other player's discretion, but I don't think I've ever seen or heard of anyone not being fine with their opponent undoing things the way they would in the app.
I mean, in my personal life, we were undoing, like, even when you attack, it's like, oh no, can I undo the whole thing? And it's like, okay, whatever. And in the app, once you attack, that's it. So that was very tragic for me when I started playing online.
And so, yeah, here you get that assault, and now Maldaria's in a lot of trouble.
Especially with the diver preventing her from... No, actually, I guess she would need the 2 damage one during move phase. All right.
The other thing that's really tricky here is that with Guardians on both sides, she can't summon an Ember Beast to fill in the gap.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Also, Nestle. Oh, sorry. Nestle pointed out you could have attacked the 1 health mage with the 3, so you could have Sky Assaulted with Ava first, uh,
Mm.
because then there's just higher chance versus 2. So it's a little bit of a mistake, but that's what happens when you only have 45 minutes a lot of times. Is you can't think. You see, you have 20 minutes left, but you're completely right, Nestle. That would have been the better play. You'd have had one more dice just in case the 2, because 2 range dice miss all the time, as you guys probably both know, playing Avians and Phoenix Elves. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you do burn, do at least they have the burn, so they can at least move back with
Give
the
a path
diver.
to run away.
Yeah. This is very dangerous though for Maldaria because there's still one more Sky Assault, and also they still have both of their birds still have both of their battle songs.
Oh, come on, again. I always get angry when I see these like events
The
when I'm
burns.
playing avians. And like,
Hmm.
We haven't seen Spirit of the Phoenix at all for the Phoenix Elves. I wonder if Fiddleford is holding on to those or dropping them, or if they're just buried in the deck.
A great point. What do you usually do with those? The oh, you mean the yeah, the Spear of the Phoenix, the 1 damage. I know a lot of people discard it, but uh, unless they have the combo of Spirit of the Phoenix and um, oh, sorry, Spirit of the Phoenix is which gives everything +1. My bad. Yeah, I'm assuming they
Yes,
haven't drawn it yet.
yeah. I think that's the most powerful event. It's very rare that I'd drop one for Magic unless I was in dire straits.
Sorry, I was confusing Flare with Spirit of the Phoenix. Sorry, not Flare.
And,
Retribution.
and we haven't seen that one out yet either. So that one might be being dropped. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Spirit of the Phoenix. I'm assuming it would be super powerful this turn, or this upcoming turn if they have it. And this Guardian Archer don't die. This is super scary for Maldaria. There's an argument here to not attack the Archer. Is there? No, you should kill Archer regardless. Yeah, I would not want to play Phoenix Elves in this position. So Chibata had an interesting article. I'm not sure if you guys saw, or it's not a post on Discord about gate positioning. And I know a lot of people don't like these double gates here, these sort of sideways gates a lot of times, especially if your summoners in front of here, because of this reason where it's just very hard to reinforce. You basically trap your summoner in this position, especially if they're able to get a unit like Tortugatron did here. Maldari is forced to go in this corner, and also potentially block her own gate spot by going back there. So it's very tricky, very tricky. Because at most they can get what 2 units attacking this turn.
yeah. Yeah, again, eternal question. Whose turn is it? I missed something.
Oh, sorry, it's Fiddle's turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
Avian's just finished up. Well, maybe they can get all 3 if they can summon a beast off of another Ember unit, but that's gonna be really hand dependent.
True.
It's also interesting. I've noticed this game. Both sides have been keeping their magic supply pretty low. This is one of the first times Tortugatron has had enough to possibly bring a champion out.
Great point. Did they discard for it? Let's see. They discarded 2 cards, yeah. So potentially going for Zyruk or better yet, no, Guilford wouldn't work too well because you can't force units away. But in a lot of matchup, Guilford is really good. Yeah, I agreed to Judy. 4 magic, uh, always dangerous to have beasts, because you can even double beasts with 4 magic. I see. So Nestle says Tortugatron in general doesn't discard very heavy. He likes playing econ. I think what I've noticed is that that works well. Like, for example, if I'm Sand Goblins, that works well. And it works well early on, but especially when you play, like, if you play a lot of uh, high level players, sometimes you just get so behind on tempo that it's not possible to not discard. Or at least discard heavy early. I know this is a strategy. Um, oh, cool. I like that. Play by the archer. Getting the free damage in.
And I don't play with the avians a whole lot, but that's probably one of my biggest dilemmas when I do play them is knowing when to try to bring out a summoner or which one situationally. That's a very difficult situation or decision for me.
Yeah, because their commons are so good that it's hard to know when to bring out champions and which champion to bring. Because I mean, I think avians, as we pointed out earlier, they're one of the best designed factions where almost all their cards are very good in different situations. All right, this might be.
Oh wow, a lot of stuff happening.
That's a clutch flare. I'm not sure if I would have. What do you think about? What do you both think about this divine retribution? Uh, would you discard it for magic, or do you think it's worth playing in this situation?
What does it do? I remember.
Oh, sorry. So anytime one of your units is attacked, they take the attacking unit, or anytime one of your units is attacked, the attacking unit takes 1 damage.
I mean, that's not bad actually, because sometimes you have like damaged units, so like you have to kind of weigh if you're gonna risk losing the unit fully or not. But I
Yeah, I
still
know.
think, yeah, I would probably throw it for magic.
I know a lot of players like throwing it for magic. I think I play it more often than average. Um, One thing, if I have it in my hand, one thing that I like about it is you can, even consider, do I want to commit to enough damage to kill a unit on my turn, or you can have kind of the safety. Well, if I take it down to 1 life, then I can play Divine Retribution, and my opponent will have to decide if they want to attack with it and kill themselves on their turn, or let me do something with it when it comes back around to me.
So that's a cool way of looking at it. So you sort of take it as a card, which keeps your potentially keeps your board state the same as it is next turn, because people are disincentivized for attacking your units basically. They're more likely to attack your gates or not attack at all.
Right, right.
That's a cool way of looking at it. Yeah, I definitely need to watch your episode with I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, this game is actually closer than I thought it should be. I think like people pointed out in chat, the flare clutch timing on the flare. I think that's their last flare. They played one earlier. Let's check. Um,
Yeah, I think there was one played just maybe 3 or 4 turns in.
yep. Yeah, both were played. Exactly. Um, so
I just using Control F to find if there are events in the log. That had never occurred to me. That is such a good idea.
I was just thinking that. I was like, wow, this man is living in like 2050.
I just see Ben do that a lot, so I just copy trick I learned from watching Ben. Okay.
Oh no.
Gonna get some damage on Ava, it looks like. So yeah, Malgaria has to move from that spot because with the gate, basically you could summon and then with flying get Maldaria on the side.
Yeah, but I think like with flying, if you summon here, it's too far away from Ava. It has to be within 2 spaces, right?
Yes, it would be summoned within 2 spaces, so over here, and then it would be pushed one, and then it can move. It
Here.
still is
Yeah,
flying.
but
Okay, clutch gate also. This is interesting. These are I love games where you have uh, gates all over the place, like in very random positions, because they always lead to very interesting board states. So yeah, I was thinking about Wrath also. So that's the champion birds have, which during combat phase it's able to spend a boost to go next to a damage unit your opponent has. So it's kind of like a very good assassination target. But I think you need 7 magic for it, or is it 6? Let's check. Wrath is 6 magic. Okay, so it can't be played this turn.
this is kind of interesting. Tortugatron didn't play a single Sentinel yet.
Great point. Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
Like, how is that possible?
Maybe they just never drew any. Their last 5 cards are 4 Sentinels.
I really love Sentinels. They're like pretty good unit, I think.
Yeah, I think they're one of the best units in the game. 3/4 for
Yeah.
2, especially with the Sage. Then they become 4/4s. Crazy good. I really like Tortugatron's gates. This gate right here, though,
I
I'm
really
not.
like, yeah.
Sorry.
I like the fact that finally he went down like into the part of the map where he belongs as a bird.
You'd say turn 2 or 3. What turn do you usually like being on the side of the board yourself?
I mean, fairly quickly, I think. I think when I play, like, I just go, you know. It's like they have wings, they're meant to fly.
I like it. Actually, do I like this gate? A little less. I'm surprised Tortugatron has not used any of his God, uh, Gathering Songs. That's the card name.
Yeah, that's true.
We can ask them afterwards if they discarded it or not. Because I think that's my favorite ability avians have. It's so useful. Interesting. So if Fiddle is able to kill this gate, it actually might be a detriment because of Ava's Gathering Song and Sky Assault.
Yeah,
It might lead to
yeah,
a dead
exactly.
Maldaria next turn.
But didn't he use 2 Sky Assaults already?
I think he used 1. Let's see. Oh, you're right. Damn, I'm not paying attention. Okay, both Sky Assaults are down. Eden doesn't like Gathering Song. He says it's poopy butt. I don't know what you're talking about, Eden.
He's just jealous because his teams don't have it.
True. True. Yeah, no battle songs have been played. I can see discarding 1 battle song, but 2 are okay. Crucially, they get the kill on the gate.
Yeah, but now he could use it, and then it would be pretty good for him. Okay, you know, Meldaria is gonna put someone in front of her.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
play a
course.
beast. Hmm.
Now this will be an interesting decision what unit to bring back and protect.
True. I think the problem with an archer is you could use a diver to easily kill the archer. I mean, even here, it's your diver is very scary, especially with battle song. Um, you probably won't die because it'll probably be some type of 3 dice either with worthy or without Maldaria. But there's a chance for an assassination this turn with a diver, diver here, and then you would need a Gathering Song. But then it's
Even
dangerous.
without it, you summon the diver. That does 1 damage to the beast. The diver moves behind it to finish it off with its attack. And then you just need another 3 dice on Moldaria to win it. Even without Gathering Song, it could be over this turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that would be a very risky move for Ava.
Yeah, definitely, especially with this beast over here, because that guarantees getting some free damage here. Also to note, it's been about 40 minutes, so they both should be still fine on time. This has been a pretty quick game. They each have 45 minutes in this format. Also, Tortugatron does have the 7 mana now, so he could go for Wrath. Wait a second. You could do... Wait, can you do... That's interesting, because you'd basically want to ping the archer without killing it. And then you could do some cool play, kill the beast, ping the archer, Wrath for the finish. Interesting. I think it's a little bit too risky though. I'm not sure if I would do that as Tortugatron. I think if I were Avians here, just my surface level thoughts would be just go back, start shooting at gates.
But isn't it more fun to risk?
True. True. True.
Oh,
Well, you see the Gathering Song.
Oh. Birds poop on tree. The bird's smaller than tree. What's happening in chat? It's interesting conversation. Trees already have troops gathered. I see. Eden the tree lover. Big bird. I think one of the funniest things I've seen in Discord is Eden's win rate on tree. That's something which is okay. So Tortugatron is doing what I
I'm
would
slightly
probably do.
disappointed. I wanted some bloodbath in the end, like a big finish.
An all-in.
I mean, this is smarter playing, I guess. This is why I'm not a top player.
I mean, I think look, whoever's having the most fun, right? That's at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I think one a player which I love watching because he has very similar mindset to you. Username is Jexic. Jexic loves that. Just if he sees an opening, he'll go for it.
You know what the funny thing is? Like with my husband, he plays the Summoner Wars as well, GGVGC, and I
Uh-huh.
think he had a bromance with Jexic, so that explains everything. Like they were doing some like custom deck thing like for a long time.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I see it. Your husband likes a certain type of person, like the aggro
Yeah,
aggro
that's it.
players.
That's it. This type. Yeah.
Hmm. How are you feeling as a Phoenix Elves here, Morning?
Well, this is, a very stressful late game, but they still have a fair amount of gates up. If it hasn't been dropped already, what I would be considering this point is how I can get a couple magic and just dump everything to bring out the Drake. That's always, the big late game Hail Mary.
That's a great. Yeah, no, that'd be so cool to see. I'm rooting for that. I wish I'm too greedy. I need to force myself to play Drake more. It's such a cool card. Would you think? Do you think Drake is worth its cost, or do you think it would need a stat buff? Like,
I think it's definitely situational, but in the late game, I think it's worth its cost.
Hmm. So, as you pointed out earlier, I don't think any has Fiddle played any of his Phoenix Spirit of the Phoenix cards? I don't think so.
No, yeah, none at all.
Yeah, no. So potentially a big turn with that. This is a cool little corridor. Maldari, because there's no Sky Assaults, can play pretty safely here. And I kind of like, yeah, the Archer there is kind of cool. It probably doesn't matter. Beast or Archer.
It's a little less risky now that there are all those flanking gates. You don't have to worry about the divers, chipping to finish one off.
True. I'm curious, if I was Fiddle, you could, I mean, just to threaten it, if you discarded a card, you could just threaten a Beast plus Archer, or something, Archer, and then potentially kill them both if you have Phoenix. That could be like a big swing.
Right.
And like you said, sometimes it's not about actually having the cards, it's more threatening it, having to play around it.
Well, and even with Spirit of the Phoenix, even 2 Archers right now would do a lot of work.
True.
Sentinel finally showed up.
Yep, I think you're probably, our theory earlier might be right. We have to ask Tortuga. Just his last 4 cards are all Sentinels. And then Wrath Magic again. Yeah, who is Judy is saying in chat. It's a little bit hard as Phoenix Elves to play around all these different combinations that Ava has, especially because, okay, so here's the Spear of the Phoenix. Cool. Huh. I'm assuming you have to push this beast a little bit up just to get it out of Narnia.
Or just leave it sitting there to call protection at the end of the turn.
Oh, true. Forgot. Great point. Because Maldari can attack the Steward. Perfect. So this potentially could be a Wrath turn here. There could be a very cool
Oh,
Wrath
that
play
1 out
here.
of 3. Brutal.
Yep. This could be the end of it. This looks like a beautiful Wrath turn coming up. Oh, the 1 damage, okay. Actually, does that matter? No.
It's going to be 2 damage now because of Spirit of the Phoenix.
True. But the turn still happens with Wrath if they want to. Basically, you Sentinel kills the beast, Sage pings the beast, Wrath goes right here next to the beast, attacks Maldaria. But is Wrath a area? No. Area? No. The 2 damage. Damn. He's gonna go for it.
Nice.
But this is a little bit all in because if it doesn't work out, I think Phoenix Elves are pretty heavily favored. Or maybe not heavily favored, but
Yeah.
Wrath probably dies. Okay, so it's going for the side. Okay, let's see. All right. This is the big one, or one of the 2 more events have to happen correctly. This can't go for 0. Oh, okay.
Right.
It's all down to this. Oh, what a finish. Wrath finishes are satisfying. What a game.
What a game. Yeah. Of course, Sky Spear are victorious. It was expected. They're just a superior team.
What are your guys' thoughts? What do you think was the do you think what do you think was the turning point for this match? Because it seemed pretty even earlier on. I would say probably turn 14. I would say, yeah, or turn 13. That was a big play by Tortugatron that turn.
I think Moldaria moving up to pressure the opposing gate, it was a big risk, and I don't think it quite paid off this time.
True. What would you have done differently? Do you think would you pushed up at the same time, or I guess game plan wise? Sorry.
Yeah, I probably would have, sat a little back there, maybe missed out the opportunity to destroy that gate. But it's so hard to say without knowing what was going on in the hands at the time.
True. I think this is the turn we're all thinking of, where they decide to go all in on the gate. Turn 10-11. Yeah.
If some draws or dice had turned out differently, that might have been the deciding turn for the win. It's hard to say at this point.
True. Hergratis is a similar matchup. He's been rolling zeros for the ping.
Congratulations, Tortugatron.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Hey, what's
Hi.
going on?
Hey guys, how are you guys both feeling? There was no time pressure that game, right, for either of you?
No, no time
Not
pressure.
really.
Towards the end. Yeah, it
I
was.
still have a little bit of an adrenaline rush after making sure Wrath was able to attack. If I had any whiffs, that would have been bad news.
Which whiff were you the most scared of?
The first one with the Sentinel.
On the beast.
It just seemed like a 2-for-4 was going to happen there.
So did you throw your Sentinels for magic, or did you just not play them until the end?
One at the beginning. Then I had to chuck one for magic later, and then the other two were some of my last cards.
I see. Yeah, we assumed there was a bunch of the end of your deck, because you weren't, like you said, you only played one at the beginning when we were wondering where the rest were. So what were you guys' going into this matchup? What were both of your thoughts on this matchup in general, Phoenix Elves versus Sky Spear Ravens? I guess starting with you, Fiddle. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can mostly stick to the game plan, but just be so careful to check all the flight spaces, and that is really hard to do, but you're trying.
No, definitely. What do you mean by the game plan? How would you normally approach this, I guess?
Just try to maximize Moldaria. I couldn't really get good spots for Ember Beast going that game, so that was unfortunate. But I don't know. I don't know if you can beat Skyspear Avian's fully ranged, so I was trying to close the gap a little bit there.
Mm. Yeah, we were talking about. We think the turn, I think, where things sort of shifted for the better or worse, was the turn you went up and tried to kill the 5 health gate. I think it turn 9 or turn 10. Sorry, turn 10, where you pushed up with Maldaria and then you placed the gate on the left side of Maldaria, and then you went all in the gate and you were able to get the gate. But then the turn afterwards, Tortugatron had the hand to punish you. That Maldaria got down to 4. But even after that, it seems kind of close throughout it.
Well, he did have the kill shot the turn after.
Yeah, the sky salt.
Yeah.
It was brutal. No, but I do think you're right that you can't play just completely back. Maybe with Maldara, you do have to maybe play mid board, just because of.
Yeah.
How about you, Tortugatron? What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I'm glad he didn't have good beast plays, because that was one of my biggest things, was worrying about that and having Ava get exposed from like a beast with Spirit of the Phoenix or something, especially if it's summoned off of a mage, something I wasn't looking for or looking ahead to. So that was I'm glad you got those at the wrong times. Thank you. But then for my side of things, yeah, basically just using those sentinels to kind of do some chip damage because I figured your mages would be pretty good, and then do a chip damage, then maybe kill the mage, and then maybe do a bit of a sky assault to try to chip Meldaria down. Kind of stay away from her a little bit because of those beasts and burns and things until I get her like maybe down to half life, and then rush in there, which is basically what happened. But what threw a cog into the works was I had, or not a cog, a wrench into the cogs. Was I started my with my first hand, both sky assaults were in there, so I figured, all right, well, let's just get value out of one and then just hold on to the other one until I have a good shot on Meldaria.
So the plan is basically if you can chip Maldaria to a certain amount of health, maybe like 5 or less, and then just go all in.
Yeah, as long as I had some good forward gates or something, I could set up and rush in there. And I didn't even think about Wrath until I drew him and thought, oh yeah, that's right, he's in this deck, because normally his ability is discard for 1 magic for me.
Wrath is such a cool card, though. I'm so glad they actually got play this game.
Yeah, I mean, I've only played him maybe a handful of times, but whenever I do, it's always pretty nice.
I see
He's
why
not
you're saying that,
completely
Fiddle.
worthless.
Sorry. Fiddle's avatar is Wrath, so it makes sense.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So I was
this to
definitely
yourself.
relieved seeing the Sky Spear assaults come off the table.
Yeah,
Even if you
I
had
think
to
about
use one
those.
just for commons, but
Mm-hmm.
that's rough starting with both.
Cool. Yeah, it's interesting in terms of it does seem like, or I guess Morning was talking about that also. Um, uh, the agency does seem to be a little bit on Phoenix Elves to go in the right position, versus Ava has a lot more flexibility in terms of how they can play outside of, like you guys pointed out, being scared of beast plays or positioning away from beasts.
Every time I saw that you had 3 magic, I just thought, well, let's just hope you don't have one.
That's cool. How are you guys enjoying Live League? Or how? I guess all 4 of you guys are in Live League.
This is my
Yeah.
first season.
Okay, cool.
I like
I
the
just
live
go
league.
ahead.
It's very cool to play like just 45-minute game. Like it's like you really have to be present.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
I
Agreed.
like it a lot too. I wish the live queue had less of a wait time, so the live league is a good alternative.
Yeah, the only issue is that I'm the only European in my division, so kind of scheduling the games can be tough. But other than that, it's great.
Eden
Have to
says he
load them
enjoys
all up
Live
on
League also.
weekends or something.
That's what we do generally.
Yeah. At first time, I wasn't originally going to join the league, but then Eden kept pestering me, so I decided to finally join.
I think that's
just
how
'cause-
everyone joined.
Probably. Yeah,
Eden's.
so normally I don't have a lot of times to sit down and play like a whole game through very often, so that's why I like the async a lot better, but every once in a while it is nice to get a good live game in, so so far I've been happy with my decision to join. Winning both my games so far has probably also helped that. I had another game scheduled right after this, but it was against Filth, so that got postponed. So I was just gonna marathon through this.
Oh, specifically because of the bug with
Yeah.
mhm. So if people don't
I
know,
told them we could still play if you wanted.
yep. That's probably So the abomination right now it's capped at 2 dice. Is that it, or 1 dice? You can
I
only
think
do.
it's 1. Yeah, it's not adding
It's 1.
anything.
Oh,
That's nuts. It's a funny bug though. Everything, especially because in for Summoner War League right now, it's the matchup
Yeah.
where it's Filth versus the trees. So perfect timing for the bug. Poor Massimo.
I'm actually against Eden in League for that one, and we haven't started our games yet though, so we didn't have to worry about it. We'll just have to wait till they fix it.
Yeah, no, it must be. They also, I know that they have a smaller team for Summoner Wars, so some parts probably
It's
takes.
just Joe.
Just Joe.
It's a team of one.
Just carrying the weight of the community on his back.
I'm pretty sure it's just Joe for coding and stuff, I think.
How are you guys happy with your choices for Live League, the faction you guys chose, or are you guys switching next season?
I'll probably, if I keep doing this, I'll probably switch it every season just to keep things fresh. I like my choice to play the birds so far. I think the birds are just easier to play in like a live setting versus something more complicated.
Yeah, I've switched every season. Season 1, I brought Polar Dwarves. Last season, I brought High Elves. So Phoenix Elves
I
are a
was
bit
thinking of both of
time
those.
friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but those weren't that great. I don't like. I'm gonna waste all my time on figuring out my ram shift turns.
Yeah, for real.
So I thought maybe I'd do that to get some more practice, because I'm playing as Polar Dwarves in the Faction Masters tournament. But nah, I'll just do something easy for these 45-minute ones. Like birds, you move wherever you want. It's great.
Yeah, I feel like Polar Dwarves. I think Massimo's playing them right now. I feel like Shadow Elves, Polar Dwarves, like you said, with ram shift turns, Sand Goblins, all probably Filth also, are just probably very hard to play at a 45-minute pace. So you guys are currently.
I also. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can keep going.
Oh, I was just gonna say I also thought about Crimson Order just because they're easy, but you're gonna go to the end game every time, so I didn't want to have to worry about it. I'll just play something that is not gonna make it till the end game most of the time.
We almost did.
Almost, yeah, I almost decked out. I think I had one card left. I think it was my other what's it called? Battle Song. I think was left.
Oh, did you? Yeah, we were wondering about that. You only used. Did you discard one battle song earlier on?
I discarded an earlier one when it wasn't a good time for it, and I really needed more magic, and then figured I'd really put the second one to use, but then I never drew it, so didn't matter.
Well, it seems like you both are. You guys are tied 1-1, and now it's going to be. So you both still have a good shot of making it to Division 3 next season. These divisions are hilarious because there's so many. There's 9 divisions.
Yeah.
But any matchup you guys are dreading? I guess you guys still have Filth, Mountain Vargath, Swamp Orcs, maybe? I think those are all fine for you guys, right? Swamp Orcs versus Sky Spear is cool. Phoenix Elves also.
I played Mountain Vargath and won that one. But then I was going to be against Filth later today, but that who knows, we'll play that some other time. But then Senior Biggles, I'm not a fan of playing against the Swamp Orcs regardless of what faction I picked. So I'm not looking forward to that one. We're going to play that one next week.
Made it to my Mountain Vargath game this morning and took an L. You rushed my gate, and
Yep.
But so just Filth left for me.
Yeah, Mountain Vargath are amazing gate killers if they have the right hand. They can easily. Swamp Orcs are. Yeah, Swamp Orcs are always an interesting matchup. I like always the back. My favorite thing in Summoner or in the Live League is the backup frogs, where it's like, if you match with me, like screw you.
Well, there's only one person who had to play against frogs this season. And it was Eden.
Oh, Eden.
Yeah.
Eden had to play against the
whatever
frogs.
Division. Yeah, I can't remember who picked them. But yeah, there's only one. Because it was the backup faction, and there's only one overlap in that division, and it happens to be with Eden. So I told him to wait.
But But yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about? Or yeah, I guess that's it. Otherwise, feel free to send any fun replays later. Maybe I'll watch them. I'm happy to watch them on stream also later.
Have you watched the games for Turtle Mania, the finals?
Oh no, that's actually a great point. Maybe whoever wants to stay on, we can watch those. Then afterwards, I have another like 30 minutes, so I'm happy to watch those. Do you mind messaging me on Discord?
Good tournament, Turtle Mania.
I guess one question I
Yeah.
still had, we kind of talked, Tortugatron, about some of your deck and how that influenced your decisions, the order you drew things in. Fiddleford, what about you? Any card order things that made things particularly interesting or headache-inducing for you?
Yeah, both my Spirit of the Phoenixes were pretty varied. I did play one right at the end there. That was a little difficult. And then I was holding 2 burns for a while trying to figure out how to make use of them, but that worked out okay, I think.
Yeah, we were wondering about that.
Oh yeah, were you watching my hand there?
We can't see your hand, but we were wondering why none of them were played.
Oh yeah.
We assumed that was because it's such a good card. It's probably, like Morning said, probably the best event, if not the best card Phoenix Elves have. So we assumed you didn't discard it for Magic.
Oh.
So Eden, if you guys want to join the my Discord stream, Eden recommended this game between Jexic and Nestle. He said it's a fun game to watch. There should be some way to disable the sidebar so we're not spoiled to how short the game is. Alrighty. And feel free to, if you guys need to leave, feel free to. I'll just be watching some more replays. And you guys are welcome to
Well,
watch.
I will have to leave you because my dog has to go out.
No
But
worries.
it was fun, and thank you for the experience.
No, thank you so much, username. It was very fun having you on.
Yeah, thanks. Have fun.
Thank you.
Take care.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay.
Gotta hop off too, but thanks for having us. It was
Yeah,
fun.
no worries. Great game, Fiddle.
Yeah.
I'll stay on just for a little bit, I think.
Okay, cool. So apparently this is a good game. So it's Jexic, who's the winner of last live league, versus Nestle, who's in chat and also in D1, I think. Yeah, he's doing well. Oh, he's actually the leader right now of D1. Nice. Oh, no spoilers. I can't. So yeah, against Wayfarers, usually you want to just get in there, prevent Celeste from getting a lot of dice. Oh, it's always great seeing 3 of those special range dice because you know you'd be raging if it was a melee or a sword. But if it's range, it feels good. Oh no. This is so Jexic, just go straight for face. Gets perfect rolls.
Right, so I'm assuming we got a slip by coming in to kill him next turn.
Nope, risky.
The 2.
X6 has a slip by in hand. He's doing it.
What dice? Oh, 100%. Seek the horizon. Yep, you're right.
There's no way he's not doing it.
This is the most Jexic game I've ever seen.
Oh, and then he can zoom in there. He's not going to need to. Yeah. All right.
Loaded dice. Agreed. Agreed. Okay, let's watch some. Is the order which I should watch them in the order you gave them, Tortugatron?
I think so. Should be fine.
Cool.
That's just the order how they're posted. I think it works fine.
So this is you choose
Nestle and Orange Lazarus.
Okay, cool.
Finals. Best of 3.
I don't think I've ever played Nestle before, but they're doing very well, it seems. And they're also
Yeah, they're a really good player.
cool. Oh, interesting. So normally when I see, I would assume that it would be Orange Laz playing the Tundra Orcs.
In this tournament, they had to pick different symbols to use. So this is probably dark versus water, I think. Have to look to see what. Yeah, dark versus water. So Orange Lazarus will be playing all 3 dark factions. Well, three out of the 4 that were available. Same thing for Nestle with water.
That's clutch by Clutch Tundra Orc being able to go back there. What are your guys' thoughts on Tundra Orcs? Do you feel like you need to go for a risk with this faction, or do you think you can just play stable?
I kind of struggle when I play them and try to go like more econ plays. I think I just have to run up there and hit stuff.
Yeah, I have the same feeling.
But then if Grognak gets surrounded, then yeah, it's not going to be good. Also not great with them. I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
I narrowly finished in 10th place last season. I was trying to get my gold badge with them, and I just did. So whenever Joe gets around to it, I don't have to try to get another badge with them anymore.
Yeah, I know people are anxious for their badges. It's been a while. Poor Joe. Has so much to do. Has a few bugs to fix now, and then badges.
I wonder what happened with that Abomination one, because he put out that update, but all it was really just a message saying that there was going to be a frog update just to warn people. Like, I don't think he did anything else, and then it broke Abomination. He must have done something.
Yeah, no, it's interesting in terms of coding. What happened?
It's
Okay,
just that to my knowledge, like just one thing. It's not that like everything that gets like a boosted attack value doesn't get it. It's just that, just one card.
Yeah, exactly, just one specific thing. Yeah, who knows? It's interesting. I mean, this is great play by both players. Just based off spoilers of the sidebar, I'm surprised this game goes so long. I like this gate. This gate's interesting. Basically, it seems like Daymar is trying to push up here. Ooh, the Dream double fighter. Does he get it? 2 cultists for 1 fighter. Oh!
He probably rolled worse on that reroll too.
Ooh.
Yeah, Vanessa is such an interesting champion because in some matchups it's completely useless, like against Storm Goblins or Sand Goblins. Basically, yeah, most of the Goblins. But against this matchup, it's mega value.
I almost always summon Vesna.
Then I'm assuming he's going to keep the Transfuse for Vesna also. It's so good. Do you play either of these factions, Morning?
I play a fair amount of Crimson. I don't, I'll play the odd Tundra Orc match now and then. I've never really tried to be competitive with them.
Yeah, I just every time I play Tundra Orcs, I just lose repeatedly. I'm so bad with them.
Yeah, I'm not very competitive with Tundra Orcs either. I was just able to barely get in the top 10 because there's just so many factions now. It's a little easier to do.
Yeah.
The ELOs are a little lower if you're playing like an old faction like that.
Yeah, I know right now, it's been interesting where I've got a pretty low elo, but yet I'm still in the top 10 with like 4 or 5 different factions.
Yeah, like earlier in the season like this, it's pretty easy to get up there because there's just so many factions to play.
Yeah, and there's more coming out. It's a little bit. I can see how people. You both played in 1E, right? Or is it just
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't imagine because you guys had at the end of that how many, like 30 factions, something crazy.
There was 40 decks.
Oh wow. It's kind of cool though, I guess, in that way where like you can never at that point of decks you can never really prep for every single deck, no matter how comfortable you are. Like it's just too many matchups to be comfortable with. So probably tournaments are nuts.
Towards the end of that, with the factions getting so complicated, I really didn't play so much. I just like to. I was still like part of the community. I would interact in things and like run tournaments, but like I wouldn't be looking forward to playing in them anymore.
Mm.
And the tournament scene was so different. It was basically just turtling or if it's the in the online app, who could hit pass first, quite often. So
I know when they started releasing the like kind of hybrid factions,
yeah,
that was
alliances.
when I didn't really follow those as much. I remember that the last tournament at Gen Con, I wasn't even planning on entering it at that point. Just I'd also kind of stopped following the new factions to that extent. But I got asked to join. It's like, I was at the convention anyway. I was like, well, we got one more player. It'll be a nice even number for the bracket. You want to join this tournament? And I didn't have any cards with me, so I got handed. I think that was the pick your poison format where you ran 2 different decks and your opponent decided which one you were going to play each round. And so I got handed 2 of these hybrid decks that I think I had seen the cards in one of them once before. And that actually ended up being a lot of fun because, like you said, at that point, you can't actually intentionally prep for everything. So it was kind of fun to just go in mostly blind and just using like the fundamentals of Summoner Wars as a whole, figure out, okay, like how am I going to try to figure out this faction on the fly?
That's super cool. Yeah, I always like that. I think Magic has that sometimes. You just like go in like at a new release, you blind yourself and then just um yeah play whatever comes to your hand. That is by far. I think new releases. I've been blinding myself recently to new releases, and it's a lot of fun trying to figure out what different cards do.
Yeah. I think that'd be the only way I'd want to play Magic if it was just like a blind draft, open up a bunch of stuff, play with it.
Mm.
Not a big Magic fan otherwise.
Yes, it's too expensive for me.
Yeah, that's part of it.
This is I really like how both these players are playing here in terms of OL does a great job of he only really uses converts if he can like get a nice gate position from them also, or just like nice versus like me for example. A lot of times when I'm using convert, I'll just throw it out and not save it. Um,
Yeah, I like to save at least one charge usually, just so it's always a threat. They always have to plan for it on their turn.
That's what Morning was talking about earlier with Phoenix Elves, the threat of double beast or just having to make your opponent play around a lot more stuff is always advantageous. And then you just have someone like Jexic who throws all caution to the wind and
Those all bows.
Nah, I love playing with and against Jexic, or just watching Jexic's games are fun.
Have you ever watched a game where he just sat back and played Econ?
I don't think so. I guess I didn't watch any of his tournament games, and I think in the tournament he played Vanguard, so he must have had to play passive at least a couple of games. or his Plat Hat tournament.
I don't know. I think he rushed Sarah up and just renewed hope, plopped down a bunch of stuff.
Just aggro.
If you're not watching his games, I'm assuming that's what he did. He just dumped a hand full of cards, so he got a bunch of magic, ran up there, and just set up shop in the middle of the board.
I really like how Nestle played this game. This gate right here is so cool. This gives you more gate spots. It's a lot more defensible. He's also been doing a great job with keeping Torrigan alive.
He's been alive for a long time.
Yep. And Grognak is still basically, they only took damage the first 2 turns.
Yep.
Yeah, I've only played this matchup once against Astro, and Astro destroyed me. I was playing Tundra Orcs. And Astro's a very good Crimson Order player.
I played this matchup against Orange Lazarus on one of the scuffles. And I whiffed for the kill twice. So yeah, he won.
I think I didn't appreciate until this Plat Hat, like, to do really well at tournament. And that's why it makes, players like Orange Lazarus, like Prophet, like Vexer, like, all these different players so crazy that they're able to win so much, because there is a lot of luck into, like, no matter how good you play, like, let's pretend every game you have like an 80% chance of winning, right? Like, that still means you're probably not going to get out of group a lot of times in Plat Hat tournaments, just based off probability. That means you're losing 20% of your shots, right? So it is pretty crazy to me how successful a lot of these players have been.
Look at this Shank just in the middle here. I mean, I guess that's good that isn't Krung from first edition.
What did Krung do?
Wild swing. Everybody gets hit by his attack around him.
Oh, so similar to the OD.
Right, yeah, it was kind of
yeah,
one of the
basically,
similar.
yeah. I kind of like the name Shank better than Krung, but I still miss that Krung isn't in the game then. He is in Spirit. That's basically Krung. But I guess Krung wasn't an orc. Is Shank still an orc, though? He looks orcish. Just a big,
Here
big
it
orc
is.
looking guy.
Here it is. Does he whiff?
There you go.
He's, 3 shots. Oh!
Damn.
The 6. What a great game. What a great game. I guess no one was really favored with the econ there, because Nestle had so much magic and still both champions.
Yeah.
So, great game. 6. I've never had Shank hit for 6. Someone check out Nestle's Shank. Shank, is that how you say it? All right, so Nestle up 1-0. Let's see the next game. So for faction,
sadly, I'm gonna have to drop out, but this has been fun.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming, Morning. I'm happy to, if I do this again, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna stream. I'm happy to have you again. It was great.
Yeah, hit me up.
Will do. And I'm excited to listen to your episode on Jexic and Jexic and Aaron's podcast.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I was gonna listen to that. That's the next one I have to listen to. I was gonna listen to it before this match. It's just some homework to see how to beat them, how to beat those Phoenix Elves. But I didn't have time this morning.
Well, looks like you didn't need it,
Yeah, but it would have been even better. It really would have destroyed if I would have watched that or listened to that.
I think a Wrath kill, everyone's happy with a Wrath kill. No one can be angry.
Right. Yeah, if Wrath kills me, I'm not angry about it.
All right, well, take care.
See you.
See ya.
Okay, Polar Dwarves versus It's so funny because every single faction Nestle's playing, I see as a Orange Lazarus faction. So this matchup, I do not have any experience with. I'm assuming it's
Let's
pretty
see what
hard for Fallen Kingdoms. Sorry, go on.
Orange Lazarus did not have Polar Dwarves. He didn't pick water or logic for any of his symbols. But he did have Instinct, so he did play as Tundra Orcs at one point.
So is this similar to Turtle of Surprise, where you know kind of what factions they can pick, but at the end of the day it's blind, or do you know the matchup before it's played? Like this is your faction, this is their faction.
You already know it, yeah. This is basically the only choices that you make is you set up what symbol teams you want, like your build symbol teams. So you'll pick 4 different symbols, and then you had to pick 3 out of the 4 factions within that symbol. And I made it so that the faction you eliminated from each one has to be from a different wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you take all of your 4 symbols and you take a look at all of your wave 1 factions, one of those it won't be on your team, right? And then wave 2, one of those won't be on some other team. And so you have this little like Sudoku puzzle to figure out what your teams are going to be based on your symbols. So I had kind of fun with that activity like in my head, so I decided let's just make everybody do it.
That's
But
cool.
then once that's done and the game started, they're randomly assigned. There was only a couple of matchups that if it popped up, I would say we're not doing that. Like for example, what I made Orange Lazarus play in one of the previous tournaments, all randomly. I didn't make this happen on purpose, but he played as Cave Goblins against Crimson Order. So
The
if
best
like
matchup
that
ever.
one popped up, or like if I think the other one I eliminated was Storm Goblins and Fungal Dwarves, like we're not doing that either.
Yeah, just the really one-sided.
Yeah,
No
just
chance.
just a couple of the really horrible ones I made sure didn't pop up. But they didn't anyway. I didn't have to change anything.
That's very cool. That's cool. I'm excited for your next Turtle Surprise, but I should join this one also. Next time it's run around. I need to join more Turtle tournaments in general.
Well, this one didn't get a lot of people joining. I think there's only like 14 people to join this one, so this was my lowest turnout so far. But I think part of that was there's a lot of stuff going on right when this tournament had signups. Like Chiabata also had his signups for his CBCB thing, and there's league stuff, and I think I think Aaron was doing his tournament champions, and there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, I think it was also within a month of the Plaid Hat one, right? Or it was actually it's not been a while. It's Plaid Hat.
Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed at Joe for he announced that there's a tournament coming up, and I thought he would have already started that tournament. That's why I scheduled my event for when I did the next one coming up here. So we'll see if hopefully I can still get quite a few people to sign up. Because I have people play 4 games a week, and so does Joe. So that's a lot of games for some people.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
I just thought he wasn't going to do one again at this
afterwards.
point. But I'm glad he is.
Yeah, no, the more.
Just maybe I would have started mine earlier, right after this one ended or something.
When are you planning? So this is the finals, right? So you probably don't have another one coming for a bit, or.
No, I have one that I've already announced it just to make people aware. Like, hey, don't schedule your events at the same time.
I remember this is after
New Year's Day. It starts
cool.
New Year's Day.
This is the Turtle Surprise, right?
Yeah, Turtle Surprise.
I'll be there. I'll do that one.
And it's the new and improved version. Much better, I think.
Wait a second. Sorry to interrupt you. Is it Elid Blah? Oh, I've never. I'm so happy to see the Elid Ball sighting. Elid.
Yep, I know, right?
It's interesting. It seems like
normal.
OL just like slowly but surely just wearing out Polar Dwarves. This is an interesting matchup. Yeah, Elid Ball is probably. You can probably get at least 2 units with Elid Ball with this matchup just because polar doors are pretty low damage outside of bears and turns where you have ice ram.
Yeah, it was going to be New Year's Day. It's still the tentative plan, but we'll see. I might delay it some just so that Joe's tournament can at least partially finish up, so more people are available.
Mm. So is Joe's tournament another Plaid Hat tournament, like the typical?
Yeah.
Is
Yep.
it
I'm assuming it's going to be the same as normal, except probably different little changes like he always does. But
makes sense? Yeah, hopefully I'm curious to see the. I'll be excited to play this one with hopefully some frog nerfs. I
yeah,
I was not happy. It's just not. Yeah. I'm not gonna. This is not gonna become a frog ranting session. I think everyone has already said enough about frogs.
they've said plenty.
Yep.
like to the point where mods have had to step in a couple times.
Yep. So that was interesting. Orange Lads used Blood Summon to basically clear a bunch of units, and it's going well. This Elliot Ball is doing work. It's gonna kill 3 units at least, or I guess 2, because the Frost Mage didn't die. Huh. Also, Orange Lads had Dragus the entire game, like since his starting hand, which is interesting.
Just go champ heavy. That's a new thing I learned that you can do with this faction.
All in champs. Oh, that's the worst feeling. Your ice dude with was it the Ice Smith dies with boosts on it.
Mm-hmm.
This Alid Ball is getting mega value. My god.
Oh, I mean, he can kill a gate next turn, I guess. He didn't leave any units for him.
Mm.
Oh, apparently not doing that. Okay. On a forward gate instead. I watched this match like right after it finished, but I kind of forgot all the different things that happened.
Oh! There have been in these last games a lot of range special dice rolled.
Might be it for a loot.
Yep.
Oh, he's still alive.
It's funny because it's stayed around, but it's also whiffed twice. Once on a ice mage or ice, and then also on the parapet. What's that called? Yeah, frost mage. Sorry. Oh, now it doesn't. So much value. So much value.
That's a lot of value. Just one shine a bear. Like the third or fourth unit it's killed.
Yep.
At some point, I'll probably do another Turtle Mania, something like this, where you have the symbols against each other. But I mean, I had such good feedback about the Turtle Surprise. Maybe I'll just do those over and over again.
No, I think it's good to have variety.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, sometimes it's probably just tough in terms of scheduling. Just time of year randomly. Probably summer's also a little bit tough to start running things because people are on vacation or.
True.
Yeah, no, good point, Eden. It doesn't seem like Rhett has used much health for summoning. I think in general, we can actually check for you. Raise. I don't want to spoil myself, but we can check at the end. This is looking
Oh, right,
terrible.
because it'll show all of it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's not looking great for Svara.
Which is good for us as viewers because that means it's to be a third tiebreaker game, hopefully. That was a big letdown in terms of I hope for Plaid Hat finals in the future they watch the games. It does like in the order which makes it most exciting. Because
Yeah,
last
have somebody watch him.
exactly
Just
beforehand. Because last time they showed us OL had won, but it should have been they could have shown 1-1 and then the last tiebreaker game, whatever the most exciting game was of the three.
Yeah.
Because otherwise people are sort of zoned out for the last game, even though I think it was Forge versus Shadow Elves. That was a very exciting game, and I forgot his name. The second place person played very well.
This might be it.
The all in, and then just a backup Dragus, just in case.
Just in case. No, he's gonna go in there.
True.
Yeah. Oh, there's a
GG's.
whiff. Oh, okay. I was hoping Dragos wouldn't do it.
That was a cool way of playing that matchup. Just very kind of slow and steady, and like Eden say, not very many raises. Okay, let's see. For Eden raise, those used 7 times, which is in a 20. That's actually on the lower side, I think, for a 25 turn game. So 14 or 13 turns each. So
13,
about
yeah.
half of
About
them.
half the turns. Yeah.
It's not bad. Not too bad. All right, for all the money. There should be if this game gets bigger, I hope there's like a trophy, like a nice big trophy of a Muglug or something. Or if you're a tournament, like it just Plat Hat sends you a giant trophy. Okay, interesting. So this is a pretty dynamic matchup, in my opinion. I've played this a few times, and I think it's relatively even. Um, I guess mattering the players, or in my opinion. Um, So it should be very exciting, probably very explosive because both factions are, yeah, Shadow Elves, Swamp Orcs, very explosive factions, but also both
Yeah,
can play very conservative.
yeah, it's two factions that I've been told are really strong, but both factions I have no idea how to play as.
They're both very. I mean, I love playing some Swamp Orcs. They're very fun. Shadow Elves, yes, but I'm not sure if you've ever had this for Plat Hat turns, especially. I made the mistake my first two, just bring like all complex factions, like Sand Goblins, Shadow Elves, Cloaks, like strong, but at the same time very complex, and it's just not worth it. Like you need factions to rest your brain on. It's too many.
Yeah, yeah, even when it's async games, it's still when you have several games going with all different factions, they're all complicated. It can be still a little tedious or
Yeah, it's too
tiresome.
much. It's also not fun, I think, for me personally. Like I like a complex faction, but when you always need to be thinking, like you get home from work and you're tired, and then you have to think about, like you said, like 4 different factions, or 3 different factions which are all complex. It's not fun. Hmm.
Will we get a Talia sighting?
Ooh, would be great.
He played a lute. Feel like they get played about the same amount.
I like these. I'd For me personally, I don't like playing both Vine Gates at the same time in this situation. I know he wants his hand to roll, but at the same time, if he wants to play more aggro, this kind of forces Swamp Orcs to stay on their side of the board because Vine Gates are so value.
Yeah, maybe that's the plan
Just
from the beginning.
could be interesting. I see. Yeah, isn't that a mistake though? I think it's always better to attack with 3 ranged, even though I think personally it always feels like 2 melee always hit more than 3 ranged. But I think it's always like statistically it's always better to hit with 3 ranged.
Yeah, I think so.
But I guess you want to guarantee that maybe that's his thought. He wants to guarantee that the dredger dies. This is very
Yeah.
this is
Might
very
affect the math a little bit. Interesting.
this is very the first person I saw play swamp orcs like this is Astro or the beast. I forgot what his old alias was, but he does this thing where he swamp
Ronin?
orcs and he just sorry
Ronin Wild.
running wild. Yeah. He likes this style of just staying in the back, just building up your swamp, and it's hard to play again sometimes, and just especially if you can get multiple vines and you can get these sort of chains of vines to really just snipe out units one at a time and really win at the value game, while keeping
I
Muggle
used to
personally.
play. I used to play. I like maybe it was. It's probably been a good year now, but I used to play against them a lot on the app because I would always see Ronin Wild come up, and then I realized that was Astro's name a while after that, and then now I don't see that name like ever. But I think that's because they're doing playtesting more often now. Yeah, they used to be in open queue all the time.
Yeah, he's also I know he buys his decks, which I think most people have a subscription, but it makes sense sometimes. I think physically or just owning something also feels pretty good.
It's
So he
true.
doesn't have all the decks at once sometimes.
I wonder where do they live though?
I know he travels a lot. I'm not
So
sure.
if it's out of the country, or the country, my country, if it's
Uh,
not in the U.S., um, if they're a foreigner,
exactly.
um, then that might make sense. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they live.
So cool push by Nestle. I just wish, in this case, the Vine Gate feels bad because the Vine Gate, like, you'd love to summon the Vine Gate somewhere around Mug at this point to keep the boost economy
Yeah,
going. This,
and to do like an automatic witch double attack just on summon,
exactly, or
be
even
pretty
just to
nice.
threaten it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if this 10 health gate dies again next turn. Oh, this is a big one. Oh, he gets it. Sad.
I think in my app it still says that I own all the decks except for Phoenix Elves and Tundra Orcs for some reason.
Mm,
Because I've been subscribed ever since it started. So when they send me something, it's mine forever.
that's cool.
You don't
Mm.
like if I stop paying the subscription, I still get to keep those decks that I already have. But I don't know why like the starter set just didn't proc on that. So I won't be able to play those two if I ever decide to stop paying them money.
That's very cool that they do that for their. I guess is it for their who stuck with them from the start? Is that how it works, or?
Well, whenever you become a subscriber, like the full subscription, where they send you the decks, because then you get free access to online.
Oh, I
But then
see. I
whatever
see.
decks that they've sent you are yours, so you play them online if you cancel your subscription or not.
That's a great. I need to now that I'm because I'm hopefully moving back closer to some of my friends, which would be excited to play this game. I might do the same thing. So there's a subscription where anytime a new deck is released, you automatically get them. Is that the
Yep.
idea? That's cool.
Yep, and then it's free shipping if you're in the U.S. at least. And I know there's some countries where it's not that much for shipping. They have some deals worked out. I think you still get a discount on the shipping.
Mm.
But for some countries, it's just not feasible to do that because the shipping's so ridiculous.
Mm-mm. Interesting. That was a interesting turn. So Nestle's been doing a great job surrounding this gate and giving a lot of gate pressure. Anytime Orange last summons another gate, Mugler just one-shots it.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Yeah, it looked like they were setting up first a defensive game the whole time, but then just ran right up there.
Yep.
Or Vinegate in the back corner. It's useless.
Okay, so this is going to be a Mug attack. 2 back. 1 back or 2? No, probably 2 back. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Ooh.
Onyx Tome. Yeah, Swampworks are very behind
If,
currently. But
if you wanted to watch any of the matches for this tournament, I had them all in the spreadsheet, spoiler free. Obviously, you'll know some of the results since he's the 2 finalists, but you could watch whatever you wanted on there.
Yeah, maybe
It's
later.
pinned in the tournament channel.
Cool. No, thank you.
Just
I'll
go to the
definitely...
spoiler free tab and you can look at those if you wanted something else to watch.
No, thank you. I'll check them out
That's
later.
what I'm going to try to do from now on, is have like a tab set up where you can go in and everything's spoiler free, so anybody can just go and watch and don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, spoiler free is it's always great. Poor Swampworks. Though I guess this is actually a lot closer. The question is this weird dancing game around this gate right here, where basically Muglugs wants to one-shot it, so they can't darkness it, because they already used both their tomes, so they can't get it back if it dies. At the same time, Muglug is in a lot of trouble.
It's a very close game. Unfortunately, Blub just dropped.
Yeah. Huh. Alright, this is a big one. Oh, the regen.
Yeah, regenerate. Otherwise, it might have been all over for Muglug. I think he was waiting on that to see how much Blub hit for, because if he went 5 for 5, then just finish off that night, end the game.
For the win. Yeah, and that was a great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
You know, this is probably safer anyway, just to do this, but... I always like getting kills off of killing a knight to take that single hit point off a cylinder. The last time I faced Shadow Elves, that's how I won the game.
Yeah, knights are definitely one of the hardest units I feel like to use as Shadow Elves, because like you said, they're 1-2-5, but at the same time they do a damage to you. And a lot of times, like, you don't even get Cylinder involved, but they kill 3 of your knights and Cylinder is down to 8 health, right? Okay, he comes for the big gate. So if he gets this, now it's really bad for OL because he has no more gates.
Yep, and then killing that knight really hurt him.
Yep. Yeah, and he can't get rid of these knights.
So see, he could still win this.
Yeah, it's all down to this.
He's got enough dice for it. Yep. So far, so good. Let's get the extra boost.
I like it. Yeah, and then he can go back. That's such a cool play.
And
oh, he missed. He whiffs.
Yeah.
Tragedy.
Just trying to get a little bit safer.
Go to game, and then he uses Viemaster to pull up one.
Yeah.
Great game by Nestle. Congratulations. Or we'll see if it whips.
Yeah.
Almost.
He won.
a great game. That's so cool. I thought that Swampworks was done, but they played around gates really well. I'm curious if OL went more face on Mug. Maybe they couldn't though. You just have to drain the swamp. Just get rid of the swamp. No, what a great finals. That's sick. Congratulations to Nestle. I don't think I've played them before, but hopefully soon. They're in D1, so maybe if I can get out of Live League and go to D1 next league.
I'm not sure if I've ever matched with Nestle in like open queue. Let me go check what my
I have played them.
record
Okay.
is. Always usually in some other event when we play.
One loss to Nestle. Okay, I did play him at some point. Storm Goblins. Oh, is this maybe this is one of those funny games. Let's see.
Okay, I'm 3-2 versus
Oh yeah, this is the
Nestle.
game. So funny.
Let's see. Do any of these look like league matches? 2 of them were, for sure. And then we played Fallen Kingdom Tundra Orcs. When did that happen? That must have been an open queue. What a terrible open queue. Like, every once in a while, I'll just, like, randomize and play whatever in open queue, and when Fallen Kingdom pops up, sometimes I'll play as them. That's, like, my least favorite faction. But, like, occasionally, I will play a game of them, and then you get paired up against Nestle's Tundra Orcs. So, yeah, I'm sure that was a horrible match. I'm not even going to watch it.
Yeah, I've won game versus some Tundra Orcs. He beat me. I remember that game. He just destroyed all my gates. It was pretty fun. Yeah, no. Thanks for the games, Tortugatron. Those were fun finals.
I was glad there was no just complete obliterating of anybody. They were all very close, 2-1. Like, you couldn't really ask for better finals.
Yeah, no, agreed. Also, very good match. Like you said, no Crimson Order versus Cave Goblins pairings.
Yeah.
All 3 were close matchups, I think.
And we saw it in a loot ball sighting. That's pretty rare.
True, and it had mega value.
In a win too.
Yep. It lasted like 6 turns. All right, let's see. Eden said I searched something wrong. Let's see if I was right. Raise the dead, not summon the dead. I'm pretty sure I. Let's see, Eden. What are you thinking? You said you're gonna switch factions probably next season for Live League. What are you thinking to switching to?
Probably, unless I like win all my games, go 4-0, and just really feel like winning still. But that means I would go up to what division am I in? Division 4. So would I go up to Division 2 if I win? Because it's like you hop up 2 or something.
Yeah, if you win it, you go 2 leagues up, I think. So you go to Division 2.
And I have to pick something that I'm my strongest in, maybe.
Is there? Let's see. What is Division 1? Division 1 is Polar Dwarves, Tundra Orcs, Wayfarers. No, it's not too bad. It's not too sweaty. It's not like it's not gonna be all frogs. Division 2, Swamp Orcs, Shadow Elves, Sand Elves. Poor Run from the Police chose Vanguards. My favorite by far was Shampoo going Vanguards and then backup frogs. It's like, screw you. If you choose Vanguards, also funny. Screw you. But yeah, thanks so much, Tortugatron. I'll probably be ending the stream now.
Yeah, I gotta go in a second here anyway.
All right, and thanks everyone for stopping by. Peace.
See ya.